Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, Team Support Call of Duty World War II. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So today I would like to discuss Master Prestige rewards here in Call of Duty World War II. And this obviously has been a big point of contention for a lot of people ever since the Doom clan hit Master Prestige 6 days after the game came out. For those who don't know, when you hit Master Prestige, literally nothing happens, right? There is no event in the headquarters like all of the other Prestiges. You stop getting supply drops every 5 levels like you do with the other Prestiges. And there's virtually nothing for you to do or work for anymore, because Master Prestige is literally just a gauntlet of 945 levels. And so ever since then, ever since we first found out about this 6 days after the game came out, we have been asking for Master Prestige rewards to be a thing here in Call of Duty World War II, to actually make it so it feels worth it to actually go for Master Prestige like it was back in Advanced Warfare and even Black Ops 3 to a lesser extent. Well, as you guys know, 8 months later, Sledgehammer Games has finally given us some details, and we learned last Friday that Master Prestige level 1000 players will be getting this uniform, as well as this weapon camo, and other Master Prestige players will be getting other things in the next big title update. We don't know what those things are as of right now, but we do know that Master Prestige rewards are right around the corner here in Call of Duty World War II, which seems like a step in the right direction. It could be argued too little too late, but regardless, I think a lot of us are just happy that Master Prestige rewards are coming to Call of Duty World War II. Except for the people who aren't happy that they're coming to Call of Duty World War II. For some reason, there's always a contingent of fans out there who are against good things happening to the game. Like, it's one thing to have a differing opinion, but I think in this case, these fans are actively just trying to make the Call of Duty series worse by complaining that Master Prestige rewards don't need to be a thing whatsoever, right? Like, I've seen this countless times. That's why I'm making this video. I've seen so many posts about it, and this morning I saw another one. At first, I just ignored it, but then it stuck in my head all day, so I figured I would discuss it here in this video. The title of the thread is, "Are Master Prestige rewards even that common in COD franchise history?" It goes on to say that Master Prestige players have a sense of entitlement, that rewards like this aren't a big part of the franchise traditionally, and that the poster, as an older gamer, does not care about these useless rewards, and that gameplay should always be the driving force behind any good game, which to an extent I can agree with, but the responses here just really have me shaking my head. Like, some people are saying that games like Modern Warfare 2 and the original Black Ops are great examples of games that were fantastic and they didn't have Master Prestige rewards, therefore we don't need Master Prestige rewards going forward here in the Call of Duty franchise. And honestly, this entire discussion is asinine. Like, why are people against having the most dedicated players in the series being rewarded for being the most dedicated players in the entire series? Why are they so against free content being added to the game that gives players an incentive to keep on playing it, thus keeping the game populated and thus keeping the series alive? Like, it makes no sense to me whatsoever. I completely agree that Modern Warfare 2 and the original Black Ops were fantastic games. Longtime fans of the channel know that the original Black Ops is my favorite game in the Call of Duty series, and it did not have Master Prestige rewards. But you know what else that game didn't have? Endgame camos like Dark Matter and Exclusion Zone, right? Just because those games were good before a new system was added to the series does not mean that all new systems should be scrapped entirely, right? I think that Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1 would have been infinitely better if we had a Dark Matter style camo for fans to actually go for. And the same is true for older games, right? I mean, Call of Duty 2 is regarded as one of the best Call of Duty games of all time by the people who actually played it way back in the day. And that game predated Create Class, it predated customization, it predated Prestige mode. Does that mean that all games after that should not have had any of those features because Call of Duty 2 was good without them? You see how asinine this sounds right now? Like, of course the Call of Duty franchise is going to evolve and grow over time, and oftentimes the changes that they make are actually good ones. Now, obviously, there's some bad ones like supply drops and microtransactions, but things like Master Prestige rewards are definitely a good thing and should be part of the Call of Duty franchise going forward. Going back to the Reddit post, yes, previous Call of Duty games have had Master Prestige rewards. The first one to do it was actually Sledgehammer's previous game, which was Advanced Warfare, and the next one after that was Black Ops 3. In Advanced Warfare, you would unlock these insanely powerful weapon variants for each level of your Grandmaster Prestige and keep in mind that back then, variants actually had different stats, so it was a pretty big deal to get the Master Prestige, and you also got these golden versions of the different prestige levels. You got special calling cards, special emblems, as well as the Grand Master Prestige uniform for getting to the highest rank in the game. Now, obviously, this is a bit different than what we see here in Call of Duty World War II, because back then we had 15 prestige levels, and then after you got through all of that, you unlocked your Grand Master Prestige levels, which is where the rewards were, but still, it was an incredible idea that rewarded the most dedicated players in the community, and it incentivized people to keep on playing the game, even though Advanced Warfare was not exactly everybody's cup of tea. After that, we had Black Ops 3, which admittedly was a lot less interesting, but still, it at least gave us some incentive to actually hit Master Prestige, because not only could you customize your prestige icon, but every 100 levels you would unlock a new prestige icon from World at War, which was technically the first game in the Black Ops universe, and this system actually incentivized people to want to play the game a bit more, right? I can speak from experience that I really wanted to get up there and unlock some of those prestige icons. I didn't make it all the way to level 1000 because I'm just not a big fan of advanced movement, but still, it incentivized me to keep on playing because I wanted to unlock those World at War prestige icons because I absolutely adore Call of Duty World at War. So to answer the question in the Reddit post, yes, 2 of the past 3 games have had Master Prestige rewards of some kind, and that's why fans were so disappointed when we learned that we had nothing here in Call of Duty World War II. COD fans are really strange sometimes. I think the problem is a lot of people just don't really see the big picture because change that is implemented in one game can forever impact the future of the Call of Duty series. That's why we are so against the Black Ops Pass, right? It's not because we just suddenly hate the idea of a season pass. It's because we've hated that idea for a very long time. We don't want to see it returning for Black Ops 4, and we definitely don't want to see it returning in games after that, right? That's why people are fighting the Black Ops Pass, and it's also why fans have been crying out for Master Prestige rewards in Call of Duty World War II for the past 8 months, right? It's not because we're entitled pricks, it's because we've seen them in previous games, we want to see them in this game, and we want to see them in all future Call of Duty games going forward. Master Prestige rewards give players an incentive to keep on playing the game, and it helps answer the age-old question of, should I prestige, right? Because back in the day, there was no incentive whatsoever to prestige. The first game that actually had prestige mode was Call of Duty 4, and that game basically punished you for prestiging, because for those that don't know, it wasn't like we saw in Modern Warfare Remastered. When you prestiged in COD 4, you lost everything. Your stats carried over, but you lost all of your challenges, you lost all of your camos, you lost pretty much everything, and as a result, the developers realized that, hey, that's not exactly a very good idea. So as time went on, they evolved the entire prestige system. Eventually, they started letting our challenges carry over. They started letting us keep our weapon camos. They started giving us different emblems and calling cards and extra custom class slots and unlock tokens for prestiging, right? And the whole idea behind this was they wanted to keep players invested in the game. They wanted to give us a reason to continue investing time into the game itself, which is why it makes no sense whatsoever for there not to be just some giant reward at the very end of that long journey, right? Now, I completely agree. Going back to the Reddit post, I completely agree that gameplay will always be what separates a good game from a bad game. It does not matter how many bells and whistles the game has. If the gameplay is bad, it's going to be a bad game, but that does not necessarily mean that literally everything else is completely irrelevant, right? By that logic, we should just go back to Call of Duty 2 when we used preset classes, had no customization whatsoever, and no real progression of any kind, because if gameplay is the only thing that matters, then why even have weapon camos? Why have prestige mode? Why have challenges? Why have a rank up system whatsoever? All of these things exist for a reason. They've been added to the series slowly but surely over the years. They've evolved over time, and they are an integral part of the Call of Duty experience, and they're a big reason why millions of people continue playing the series to this day. The reason why COD is still around, even though it makes annual games every single year, is because it evolves over time. They add new things to the series, and that is why we want Master Prestige rewards. Again, it's not because we're entitled pricks who love to complain, and to be clear, as a Call of Duty YouTuber, I've seen a lot of feedback. I know there are lots of entitled pricks out there who just love to complain, but in this case, we're talking about an actual good feature. It's something that builds upon a core fundamental part of the Call of Duty multiplayer, which is Prestige mode, and makes it even better, and it also incentivizes people to make it to the end of Prestige mode and keep on playing the game, which, in case you guys haven't noticed, Call of Duty needs help in that respect, because over the past couple of years, it's been on a pretty steady decline. Now, to be clear, it's far from a dead game. In fact, it's still the best-selling game each and every year, but the big problem that Call of Duty faces now is it struggles to maintain a large player base after the holiday season is over, and a big reason for that is because there is now a lot more competition than there was back when Modern Warfare 2 came out, out, or when the original Black Ops came out, right? There's so many fantastic games out right now, and people always say, well, you can't compare COD to this. They're completely different games, but honestly, every game is competing with the other games out there. Like this coming holiday season, we have Fallout 76, we have Red Dead 2. Do you not think those games are going to take away from Call of Duty's sales figures at least a little bit? Every game is competing with each other, and they're all doing different things to keep their fans invested for the long haul, right? Which is why it makes no sense whatsoever to argue that Call of Duty should not be doing the same thing. They should not be rewarding people for investing a ton of time into their game when every other game out there is doing it and doing it well, all the while Call of Duty is on decline, right? It makes no sense whatsoever. But honestly, I think these people know that Master Prestige rewards are actually a very good idea, but they just love to go against any popular opinion because they think it's like an interesting personality trait or something. I really have no idea, but either way, that's all I wanted to say here in this video. I'm happy that World War II is getting Master Prestige rewards. I hope there are a lot more rewards than they've already talked about, and I really do hope they make fans happy. And above all else, I hope that Treyarch and Infinity Ward are paying attention to all of this. I hope that endgame rewards become a big part of the Call of Duty franchise going forward. And one final thing before I end off the video here today, I would like to let you guys know that it's looking like Sledgehammer is going to be opening up the Resistance Collection for the first time since like February this coming weekend, which will give fans the ability to get the 2 revolvers, the Volkssturmgewehr, and the Orso submachine gun. Now, fun fact, and this actually ties into my rant a little bit, which is hilarious, but the entire community, as well as YouTubers like myself and Prestige is Key, and Exclusive Ace, and Drifter, and pretty much everybody else, we've been asking Sledgehammer to do this, right? We've been asking them to open up these old collections for ages now, and they are finally doing it. And that's what happens when we as a community work together to give the developers feedback, right? Oftentimes, it actually makes the game better, but the entire system gets derailed when you have people constantly saying, you guys complain too much. Why can't you just enjoy the game for what it is? All you do is complain, complain, complain. If we would have listened to that little tiny section of the community that I'm ranting about today, if we would listen to them, Call of Duty World War II would be a much worse game. We wouldn't have gotten the Divisions overhaul. We wouldn't be getting Master Prestige rewards. We wouldn't have gotten those changes made to Aachen back during the beta. We would still have Domination 50. Submachine guns would still be overpowered. Chrome camo would be even more boring than it is right now. Those awesome weapon variants wouldn't be at Major Howard each and every day. Shipments would not be its own permanent playlist. Old collections would not be coming back for a second pass. Requisitions wouldn't have been nerfed. Blitzkrieg wouldn't have been added to the game. Sprint out times would still be slow as dirt. The list goes on and on. There's a very fine line between needlessly complaining and offering legitimate constructive criticism. What most of us in the community are trying to do is work with Sledgehammer to make the game even better, and we want to do this every year. We want to make Black Ops 4 better and Modern Warfare 4 better and pretty much every game, but the people out there who are offering no feedback and instead are just sitting there trying to silence everybody by saying that all feedback is just complaining, those are the people who are actively trying to hold not only the game back, but the entire Call of Duty series as a whole, which does no good for absolutely anybody. And once again, to be fair, I do get that a lot of COD fans actually do just complain a lot. Believe me, I'm a COD YouTuber. I read probably 100 times more feedback than anybody watching this video, and I know that a lot of the time that people like to shout just to cause up a stir, but when fans are actually making legitimate suggestions, like adding Master Prestige rewards to the game, that is a real suggestion, and it should not be dismissed as needlessly complaining, especially by the same people who claim they want what's best for the game. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here today. This was a much longer video than I thought it would be, but that's something I've wanted to get off my chest for a while. I love the Call of Duty franchise. I would imagine most of you love the Call of Duty franchise if you still watch my channel, even though Call of Duty World War II is not exactly the most popular game. We want what's best for this series. We want it to thrive. We want it to get better, and actively trying to sabotage other members of the community by saying, well, your feedback is stupid, your suggestions are dumb, that doesn't help out anything whatsoever, especially when pretty much everybody agrees that an idea is a good one. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section below, and stay tuned for some really interesting videos coming out this week. I haven't really officially announced it here on the channel, but I now have a modded console. I now have early builds of Call of Duty 4 and World at War, including the World at War beta, so I'll probably be doing some videos on that here in the coming days, so stay tuned for that. But until then, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Drop me a rating, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.